It is the Friday night of Run It Up Reno here at the Peppermill. Tons of people here for this. I know Andrew Nemi, Brad Owen, obviously Jason Somerville, I think the Staples brothers. Even Bill Perkins, I believe, is here. I'm not sure if he's still here. I haven't seen him myself, but I've seen him on social media. Pretty cool that he made the trip. I'll let you know of anyone else that I end up running into. There's 3 3-5 games going on right now here at the Peppermill, and I'm gonna jump in one of them. All right, I'm coming to you live from a farm. This is probably the first time I've recorded a part of a vlog up here since the addition of these 2 new massive screens at the Peppermill. They have these throughout the casino. They have 3 in the poker room, these massive TVs that I'm told cost $100,000 each. So the Peppermill is just rolling in money. They make so much money, they don't even know what to do with it. So as a result, they spend it on stuff like this. Anyway, here at Run It Up Reno, plenty of tournament players around, plenty of guys wearing Run It Up gear. And that's always cool to see, even though I don't play those tournaments myself. I do play the cash games, and in a 3-5 game that is going on here now, we had a pretty ridiculous hand that I was involved in. I wish I had video of it, but I don't. We get an under the gun limp from an older lady who I know pretty well, and then we get an under the gun +1 limp. I'm in the cutoff with 8-9 of diamonds, and I'm gonna try to pick up this pot if I can. I go ahead and make it 30. Both players make the call. So with 90 in the pot, the flop comes Jack, 4, 4, rainbow. Both players check to me. I figure there's a pretty high likelihood they both missed this flop. I go ahead and continuation bet 45 right about half pot. Both players make the call. Turn comes an 8, giving me a pair of 8s. It gets checked to me again. This time I decide not to bet. I assume one of them has to have a jack, or someone could be slow playing a 4 even, so I don't bet it. I check it back, and the river pairs the 8. So I now have 8s full of 4s. 8-8, 4-4 jack. The older lady, first to act, she bets out for 100. And then under the gun +1 makes it 300. Now I'm left in kind of a weird position, because I don't think this guy would be making this move without having at least an 8, if not better. I know he doesn't have pocket jacks. There's no way he's over limping pocket jacks pre-flop. So where does that leave me? I've seen him make a few kind of weird bluffs in the past. Not that I ever thought for a second that that's what was going on here, but I kind of factored it in. It was one of those hands where I kind of just felt, well, you know, I'm just not good enough to get away. Wish I was, but I'm not. I figure I have to call. So I call the 300. Under the gun, Snap calls it as well. Under the gun +1 shows pocket 4s for a flopped quads. And
oh really? Okay, and how far is it?
Under the gun, who I believe says she had pocket jacks. So that has got to be one of the most ridiculous coolers I've ever been a part of. In a way, I'm lucky to have only lost that much, but at the same time, if anybody had bet the turn, I'm gone. If anybody had raised the flop, I'm gone. If anybody re-raised pre-flop, I'm gone. So many things had to go exactly the way they did for me to lose even the amount of money that I lost, that I'm not sure how I feel about it. And I know that if I were the guy under the gun +1, I would have raised a lot more than 200, because you know if she's the type that's leading out on that river, she's never folding for 200 more with any of her range if you have those quad 4s. I would have made it 700, but that's just me. at you from Lawler Event Center for this vlog. The Wolfpack in action, number 6, an American going into this game. Caleb Martin, Cody Martin, the twins, absolute studs. So fun to watch a team with an actual chance at the Final Four this year. All right, it is a Saturday night coming at you from Colo 8 News Now. I'm the weekend anchor here. For those of you that don't know, I work Saturday and Sunday nights, and then Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday during the day. But wanted to call back to vlog number 4, probably the most viewed one that I've done. And that is because the title of it reveals the fact that a truly ridiculous hand occurs. Now, I'm not going to mention who the villain in that hand is, but he got me for a lot of money in the hand. As the title of it states, a $2,500 bet into a $150 pot, and I can't fold to it. I had ace king of hearts. I had 3-bet pre-flop. The flop came ace 9-7 with 2 hearts. Before I could even do anything, he led out for his entire stack. I know beyond the shadow of a doubt he does not have a set when he does that. So what does that leave? I figure a hand that I have dominated a lot of the time. Certainly Queen 10 of hearts could fall into that category. I ended up making the call. He had 2-pair ace 9 offsuit, and I simply bricked out everything. So it was a memorable hand. It got a lot of reaction, a lot of different opinions on whether or not I should have folded the hand. But that's not what I want to discuss here. What I want to discuss here is a hand that just recently happened. And again, I apologize for this vlog coming out a little bit late. Obviously, running up Reno was a month ago and didn't get around to releasing this until now. But this same villain in the game on a Friday night at Peppermill, and we get an under-the-gun limp from a very loose player, and it folds around to the guy that I'm talking about here in the small blind. He makes it 80 to go. I'm in the big blind with pocket 6s. I'm playing a little over 2,000 effective, and I have him covered. The small blind in this hand started the hand with about 1,500. I make the call looking to set mine, and the under-the-gun limper calls, a guy that I definitely want to keep in the hand. The flop comes above average. 6-6-5 rainbow for flopped quads. And here's the best part. I mentioned he made it 80 pre-flop, so we have $240 in the pot. He bets 700. Needless to say, I just call. The under-the-gun limper actually thought about it for a minute and finally made the fold. Turn came a 7. And he said, well, Ben, I guess you get the rest of my money. And he bet the final 700 or so that he had in his stack. Needless to say, I made the call. He ended up having pocket queens. River came off a 7. And I won a massive pot in a dream scenario. So this could be considered payback for that hand back on vlog 4. So that's one of those situations that just doesn't come around all that often. And when it does, you definitely want to take advantage of it. I ended up booking, for me, what was a record win on that night, because I won a few other big hands as well. A $4,100 win at Peppermill. And after a pretty lousy September and October, that felt pretty damn good. Thanks as always for checking out the vlogs. If you like what you see, feel free to check out the old vlogs and subscribe so you can see the new ones. And as always, follow me on Instagram @BenDeach. And we'll see you next time.